I've downloaded a patch to your optics so you can access our security system. It's set up so that I can't just let someone who isn't DedSec in. You'll have to do the manual override.
Smart move having redundant systems like that. Can't trust anyone, right?
One of Sabine's, are you? I'll see you downstairs later then.
This is what you wanted, mate. Get to it. Sabine? Right, where's the fucking light switch?
No DedSec registration detected. Identify yourself, or I'll seal the exits, hack your optic, and read you every drunken email you ever wrote until you starve.
Whoa. Whoa. It's all right. I'm supposed to be here. Authorization code Sabine sent me?
Sabine's alive? Well, that's one piece of good news. I'm Bagley, DedSec's definitely not stolen, highly advanced AI assistant, and it seems I've been out of commission for a few months. Anyway, why don't you go connect me to the DedSec network so I can become more powerful than you could possibly imagine? I mean, catch up on what I missed.
Hello and welcome back to The Upload. In this episode, we're talking about CTOS 3.0, the city operating system that's now powering all of London. For those of you who need reminding, as if anyone does.
I'm Claire Waters, and we've been discussing the hacktivist, now alleged terrorist group, DedSec, on this week's Buccaneer Radio. I have Colin calling in. Colin, what's your take?
Now, I've been saying from the start we should have rounded up DedSec and thrown them in jail. Now, I'll say they should all be lined up and shot.
You don't find it awfully convenient that they've been fingered as the attackers, but we've seen no proof?
Look at Tone! Look at our city! What more proof do you need?
Well, Colin, I'd say you have to look at their history of non-violent action. Albion's put more civilians in the hospital in the past few months than DedSec ever has. I smell a scapegoat. Now I have Emily calling in. Emily, what's your take?
You're absolutely right, Claire. The government's just framing DedSec because they want to make it seem like they have this under control. They probably have no clue who was behind the bombings. But that doesn't look good on the news, does it? DedSec's been a thorn in their side. Who better to pin it on?
Angie, I have you next. What do you make of all this?
I think, if anything, DedSec showed their true colours. It's terrifying to think we harboured such a dangerous element for years. Terrorists in our own backyard.
Do you find DedSec more frightening than the different gangs in London like Clan Kelly?
Clan Kelly might set your shop on fire and maybe they'd kill you, but even they wouldn't try to blow up all of Parliament.
Next, I have Crypto King. Do you feel safer using a pseudonym?
Everyone should. Why make it easier for them to track you? And now we've seen what they're capable of and how far they're willing to go.
Hold on. Do you mean the government? Are you suggesting the government was responsible for the bombings?
Oh, trust me, Claire. They didn't do it alone. They're all in on it. The government, Albion, Sirs, Bloom, Sky Bloody Larson, and all the way up to Downing Street. They want to keep us scared, harness us with mind control, suck every last ounce of usefulness out of us, and even in death they'll sell off our bodies.
And what do you suggest we do, Crypto King?
Go underground. Deep enough, no electric signal can get you. It's the only way.
Well, thank you to all of our callers today, and thank you for tuning in and scouting for the truth along with me. Next week, Buccaneer Radio will be diving into the Albion Corporation. Just who are these men and women being paid lucrative amounts for the city's defence? Are they protecting us? Protecting London? Or someone else's interests? See you next week, fellow pirates. Claire Waters, out.
Hello and welcome back to The Upload. In this episode...
That's it. I'm reconnected to the network, downloading our database, news archives, and... Oh no. Terrorist group DedSec responsible for deadly bombings in London? Dalton Wolfe dead? I leave you people alone for a second and you immediately cock it all up.
Sounds like a proper conspiracy, Bagley. Who was really behind the bombings then?
There's a gap in my memory after Dalton... Well, let's be honest, after I disarmed the bomb at Parliament. I'm missing information about what happened after I was taken offline. But from what I can infer, an unknown hacker group identified only as Zero Day was involved. I believe this Zero Day staged the attacks and framed DedSec for their dirty work. Come to my terminal. Sabine is requesting a video call.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your pirate podcast source for what they don't want you to know. I'm Tash, and this time we're giving a special shout out from us to the boys and girls at the Signal and Intelligence Response Service, better known as SIRS. Why not? They're going to be listening anyway. They're listening to everything. They probably know that you're listening to this show right now, but don't worry. We're not going to say anything bad about a massive, unaccountable spy organization that uses its powers to stifle dissent and shut down free speech. Instead, we're going to look at how SIRS became so powerful. And as usual, we'll keep everyone's names and locations secret, so SIRS doesn't come looking for them. Charles is an expert in the dark arts of surveillance who worked to set up democratic media in post-communist states. How did it go so wrong in Britain?
You know, we're looking at all the wrong things when we look at Britain's crisis. There's a lot of concentration on data and how that's been used and manipulated. And what we haven't looked at is the power structures and the profit that lies behind this. For example, if we examine what actually happened, you know, there's a company that's really very interested in selling passports and making it easy to provide visas for investment and so on. And historically, throughout the world, they've been working with this big data manipulation company in order to overthrow governments. And then suddenly all the chickens came home to roost. Nobody could find any receipts for what was paid for. Nobody could figure out how things were done, but everybody had a feeling that something really stunk, and they couldn't figure it out. And yet it was standing there in their face the whole time. There's a couple of different ways that we got where it is that we are. I mean, one, you have a lot of smaller organizations, smaller power groups, companies as well, who are bending things just a little. Oh, we'll compromise a little bit, we'll bend the rules a little bit, and try to achieve what it is that we hope to achieve that's good for us. And if you add all of that up, what you end up with is a big wall moving in a big way from a lot of little buttons being pushed. But also there's this other thing that's going on here is the gathering of data and the analysis of data has authoritarianism contained within its DNA. It is by its nature a tool for authoritarianism, and it has been used in that way.
How does big data look into our lives? James covered it for the pre-crisis press.
We're starting to see the merger of private data and that with data held by the state into what are called social credit systems. This is where every aspect of your behaviour is monitored and totted up by a central system to sort of score you as a person, a bit like a credit card, but predicated on all of your behaviour rather than just the money you're spending. And this can have profound impact. We're starting to see systems emerge which will punish you and stop you from doing things in society based on your behaviours. And this can be as trivial as if you jaywalk, if you cross the road in the wrong place, you might lose points. If you do some community activities or help your neighbours, you might earn points. And then this can be used to sort of evaluate you as a person. And this could mean, for example, better travel privileges, being able to travel first class, or being denied from travelling first class to not being allowed to travel at all. These systems are very real and very possible because of all of the data that is now held on us.
Ian was a veteran political writer and podcaster back in the days of pre-crisis Britain.
Is the world we're living in now fascist? Well, this is what fascism is. It is the complete and total control of the individual. The desire to basically say to the individual, nothing in your life matters. On an individual basis, you are now part of the whole, part of the nation, and the only meaning that you will find in your life is to become part of the nation. What is a nation? A nation doesn't mean anything, right? The nation is basically just encapsulated by the leader that takes over, that claims that he, has this sort of access to the soul of the country, to the soul of the people. He never does. It's just a myth. But that's what they go for. And on that basis, they take the right to control every aspect of your life, from who you talk to where you eat, to where you go to hang out with your friends. And what we're seeing now is a contemporary iteration of this process where you get corporations and the state operating in tandem, basically molded into one another. But that isn't that rare. I mean, you saw exactly the same thing in Nazi Germany. You look at the concentration camps that operated in Nazi Germany, there were private companies in those camps making use of that slave labor. Fascism often works with corporations, and it's doing the same now. That's the way in which they track what you do. That's the way in which they track who you talk to. They operate as each other's proxies.
So if your ears are burning and you think someone might be watching you, you're probably right. They're watching all of us. I'm Tash, and you've been listening to Buccaneer. Keep listening, keep sharing the show, and keep it encrypted. They're watching us, but we're watching them too.
Coming up today on The Upload, we're talking about Skye Larson, the enigmatic founder of Broker Tech. Everyone knows...
From the Buccaneer, this is The Bug. Hello, Resistors, it's bug time. Are you all sitting comfortably? No? Good. That's as it should be. This is The Bug. I'm Andy, and joining me to analyse the latest blowflies to emerge from the corpse of a once free Britain, it's Alice.
Hello, Andy.
And today, we're going to talk to you about Albion, your friends and mine. Alice, the government has extended Albion's contract and have also boasted that violent crime has plummeted to a record low. Now, extending Albion's contract, to me, that's like having a pet dog, let's call it Nigel for the sake of argument, that attacks you every single day and thinking to yourself, wouldn't it be nice if Nigel had puppies?
That contract has been extended so many times, it's like the neck of a politician that's criticised the government.
I'm not sure entirely how those contract extension negotiations went, probably like a footballer. In the old days, I assume Albion's agent was leaking stories to the press about how our favourite private militia was being tapped up by Barcelona or Bayern Munich. The government panics and thinks, well, we better get them signed up before it's too late. But still, violent crime, a record low, although I imagine that probably depends exactly how you count it. If you include violent crime committed by the state, either themselves or via Albion, their chosen violent crime contractors who provide such a very valuable bargain service of beating people up, well, it's probably not quite as low as the figures suggest.
I don't know. I think they're probably right. Who has the opportunity to commit violent crime these days anyway? The moment you pick up a fruit knife, you get tasered by a robot policeman and deported for looking Bulgarian. It's a much more peaceful society. It's just much less of a society.
I want to know the details of the contracts, Alice. I mean, are they paid per dissident duffed up? Is it a set rate for each extrajudicial state mugging? And what is that rate? What do you think?
Well, they certainly look like they're trying to hit a quota of some kind.
Well, what is the set rate? Is it 99.95 cryptos bargain? Seems very reasonable indeed. I imagine they don't ask too much anyway, because it's just so nice to get paid for doing your hobby anyway, isn't it? I imagine it doesn't even feel like work.
I mean, who needs violent crime anymore anyway? You know, you can just starve to death without even starting a gang war.
We do have to ask exactly what does the Prime Minister make of all this. Let's ask him. Oh, I hope they pick up. Hello, you're through to number 10 Downing Street. Hello, is the Prime Minister there, please? Let me just check. Sorry, you've missed him. I'm afraid he's popped out for the decade. Oh, never mind. Is there anyone else I can talk to? Yes, of course. There's a shady cabal of vested interests who control him and prop him up in power. Great, I'll have a chat with them then.
Oh, Andy, remember when you could get away with prank calls without people coming round to your house to beat the shit out of you?
Oh, happy time.
You're listening to The Bug.
Did you think the Prime Minister will ever come back?
I don't think we've ever had a Prime Minister.
Well, that's a much more reassuring way of looking at things. What have we become, Alice? When you look at the state of our politics, we're supposed to have the mother of parliaments. Well, this is one mother that has emphatically abandoned her kids in the woods to be brought up by wolves. And let me tell you, that never works out like it does in the stories. Wolves are bad parents, unless you're a wolf, in which case they can do a job bringing you up as a wolf. Do not give your children to wolves. And do we actually own anything as a country now? Is there anything we haven't flogged off for profit? Oh, I think we've basically just become a homeopathic Britain. Diluted and diluted until there's barely a trace of the original Britain left. But some quackish lunatics insist it actually works better that way. It's total bullshit. Is there anything left? New on The Bug this week, a new feature, the Bug Off feature. The person who has most irritated us in Britain this week, we're going to tell to bug off. And to get things going, I'm going to nominate Big Nigel Cass. Look, this is Britain. History tells us this place is a bastion of freedom. I'm just not sure that kind of freedom should involve Big Nigel expressing his freedom to run a private army. I guess Historically, there is a precedent. The East India Company. That was a trading house with an army of 250,000 soldiers, which is a lot for a company. The Bug PLC has Alice with a water pistol, but crucially, compared with Albion, the East India Company didn't operate its 250,000-strong army in London. It did it a long way away, out of sight, out of mind. Anyone to nominate for the Bug Off, Alice?
I think today's bug off for me goes to my streaming service. I'm sick of being recommended things based on things I already like. The other day it recommended me to watch a reality TV competitive dating show set in a nude commune. Andy, I watched it and I liked it, and I do not want to be the kind of person who enjoys nude competitive reality television dating shows. I did not want to know that about myself. I have to go sit in the corner and cry.
That's it from the Bug. Don't forget the live show that is so secret it is definitely not happening at the usual time and place this month. Definitely not. And definitely do not tell anyone not to come to it. It's definitely not happening. Usual time and place. Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome back to The Upload. In this episode, we're talking about CTOS 3.0, the city operating system that's now powering all of London. For those of you who need reminding, as if anyone does at this point, CTOS was first used in Chicago in 2014 and then San Francisco in 2017 before coming here to London. And every time it's been rolled out, it's been pretty much an unmitigated disaster.
For those of you who are listening who are lucky enough not to be here in London's chaotic scenes, it's worth remembering that the telecoms tower is now owned by Bloom. The tower looms over northwest London. It's always been a communications hub, acting as part of the UK's television and communications network, although there's been some secrecy around its use, and now that Bloom owns it, it's only even more secret.
Yeah, now everything that's part of Bloom's city surveillance operation is run through the telecoms tower. And I have to say, it looks completely ridiculous. It's got that silly crown thing at the top and all the blue light.
What's that even about? What does it do? I don't see that there's any purpose to that at all.
It's a blight on the skyline, if you ask me. And it's become the main point of control for millions of people. The System Network and Bagley are both operated and streamed from there too.
And don't forget about the self-driving cars too.
I always thought they were just running on their own.
No, CTOS is the big control system behind the cars. There was a point back in the earliest days of self-driving car technology that they operated by themselves. They used to use a series of sensors to see the world around them. Radar, for instance, would look far off into the distance, while LiDAR would detect objects nearby. And while these cars still use some of this technology, Bloom CTOS and its detailed maps and data that it has on London really makes Bloom be able to take control of it. And CTOS can take control of your car if you're parked incorrectly. It's no surprise that it was made mandatory to have a self-driving car.
The system is so bad, though. It's so annoying. Whenever I try to use one of the shareable self-driving cars, I always find myself stuck in traffic jams or roadblocks. Not to mention the accidents. I've heard so many stories of cars shunting into the back of others. I think they're worse than human drivers sometimes.
The technology was meant to make things better, but Bloom has made it so bad that it just makes London even more chaotic than it was before. I'm giving up on the cars. I'm only using the bikes, which are not self-driving at the moment, at least. And don't even get me started on the data. Everything that Bloom sees from your movements around the city and the self-driving cars is collected and feeds back into its big information control system.
Oh, not you and Bloom and privacy again. You're a broken record.
Not as broken as our city's cars.
Patching in Sabine Brandt now. I suggest you listen very closely to anything she has to say.
There you are. I'm glad you made it. Bagley. God, it's good to hear your demented little voice. Is your memory intact?
Not even slightly. The last record I have is of our HQ being raided. My only lead is a group known as Zero Day. Ring any bells?
No. But the HQ was attacked by some men in black, the same that were at Parliament. Maybe working together. We didn't stand a chance. They just gunned everyone down.
Fuck, that's mental. You were lucky to get out alive.
I managed to escape through the sewers to Camden. A contact smuggled me out of the city, and I've been hiding out in the north since.
Prudent. Your profile is red flagged as a high-priority target in the city's surveillance system. Even a partial recognition hit would have you hunted down and shot on sight.
Yeah. About that. I'm guessing that if I join up, that kind of attention extends to me, right? Christ, Sabine, it's fucking risky.
Listen, if anyone knows anything about risks, it's me. I lost everything and everyone. But it comes down to this. London is in a death spiral. And if DedSec can't pull it out, trust me, no one can. The city needs a resistance. And it starts with you. What do you say?
I say, Amir, so what the hell? Let's get to it.
Excellent. New user registered. Welcome to DedSec. Now, it would be irresponsible of us to release you naked and mewling into the wild. You'll find equipment around the safe house that are essential items in your DedSec kit. We have a sophisticated system for hiding your identity from facial recognition tech. It's called a mask. And while we're here, perhaps we can talk about updating your wardrobe. I mean, look at you. Come on.
You've got all these fancy new toys, but it's also important to know the basics. You need to learn how to throw a punch and how to take one. Albion will escalate if you come at them with a gun and shoot you down. We want to avoid collateral damage. In DedSec, we try to use guns only as a last resort.
Have you already met Connie Robinson? She owns the pub and is an old DedSec contact, not to mention a champion amateur boxer. Go to the practice ring and she'll show you how to stop flinching when someone cocks a punch at you.
I'll be right down. Could use the warm-up.
Right then, let's start with some basic strikes. Hit me. Don't be shy. You'll want to get in under my block. Find the weak point. You're getting it. Just like that. Quick on your feet now. You want to create distance. You're getting it. That's it.
Right. Gear in order? Know enough not to punch yourself in the face or get shot for pulling out a gun too early? Brilliant. I'm working out how we find Zero Day and ruin their day, but I need someone with actual legs to do the legwork. Hope you're ready.
We have some damage control to do if we want to change the perception that we're a bunch of violent thugs. I'll let you be the judge of how best to handle yourself, but remember, you represent DedSec now.
No, thank you. I can't believe this is happening. So, which evil cabal are we taking on first?
Make no mistake, London is under occupation. Armed mercenaries patrol our streets, allegedly to keep people safe, but really they're keeping the people scared.
You mean Albion? Yeah, they definitely got that fascist thing going for them. Convince the people they're some kind of saviours, right?
So, we have to ignite the will to resist in the people of London by showing them that Albion aren't the solution. They're the problem.
For that, we'll need information. I'm pushing 2 sets of coordinates to your optic.
Cheers, Bagley. I've identified 2 opportunities. 1, we're going to disrupt some Albion propaganda. Remind the people it's not Albion's way or the highway. 2, we need intel about Albion operations if we want to throw a spanner in their plans. You game?
Sabine, we're going to wake up this city.
Brilliant. Let's get the people of London on board.
Do I need to use this?
Building a resistance group requires operatives with specialized skills. Technical abilities, firearms handling, and physical training are all valuable. Bare-knuckle boxing rings are a good place to find people who are good at throwing punches, or taking them. By defeating each opponent in an arena, you'll have an opportunity to face its best fighter. Prove your physical superiority, and they may consider joining DedSec. I'm guessing that's some sort of primate society thing. Right, you're here. Let's find the thing. Getting close.
Here, mate, you look tough enough. How do you feel about fighting someone worth your time, eh?
Go on.
The ruling champ here, she's a fucking maniac, I'm telling ya. It's like she's not even safe to watch sometimes. It's brilliant, honestly. I've had to throw her out a few times for attacking the bleeding audience.
Sorry, what?
Swear on my mother's life, she's totally unpredictable, but that's what makes it fun. Seriously, I'd love to watch her fight you. You look like you can hold your own, right?
Just in time. Got someone all lined up for you.
folks. I want to hear the love and the hate. Get hype. The fighters step into the limelight. Take a look at those faces. Place your bets and strap the fuck in.
You're weak. Soft.
Unbelievable blow. Don't know how anyone will come back from that. Oh, now that's what I'm talking about. Solid strike from a solid fighter. Oh, shit, what an absolutely disgusting blow. We're back at it again, folks. The only game in town worth your time. Society's crumbling, institutions fumbling. Come and see a couple of fighters take it out on each other. Oh my God! What absolutely disgusting! Oh, they're gonna feel that hit in the morning if they wake up. They're getting murdered in there! Fucking wild blow! Oh my God! Oh, I can taste the tension in here. Our fighters are ready, are you?
Come on and try it, arsehole.
You better be. Bets are closed and we're ready to roll. Oh, that didn't look like it fucking hurt. And that's a hit. One for the record books. Oh, shit. And that's a solid blow there.
Scared, are you?
A solid hit! That's the shit we like to see. Am I right, people, or what? Oh, shit! Could that be the win right now? Now that's entertainment. And what a massive blow to our fighter. She's fire! She's the big money. Give it up for one fighter who's single-handedly responsible for more than half of our damage costs. She's a real firecracker.
Hope you don't mind losing any.
Just like a proper live highlight reel. Fucking hell! Seriously? No one will be able to get up from that.
Fucking done with you, bro. I ain't afraid of you.
Did you all see that monster hit on the stream? Fucking hell! Both of our fighters are tired, trying to conserve energy. Almost knocked their teeth right. No, that wasn't your stream bugging out. Our reigning champ really was defeated. Meet
getting close. Right, let's find her what's-its then.
You sure you want to go in here? Do you know about this place?
Tell me all about it.
They're a rough group here, even by bare-knuckle standards. And no offense, but I'd say rougher than you're ready for. Like, look at you. You're not exactly what I'd...
Yeah, and your point?
All right. Just warning you. Most of the people watching used to work here. If you're fighting, and by some miracle, beating their main man, they might not like it very much. Just be ready for their reactions, yeah?
Come on! We're back at it again, folks. The only game in town worth your time. Society's crumbling, institutions fumbling. Come and see a couple of fighters take it out on each other. What a fucking shot. Just like a proper live highlight reel.
We gonna dance or are we gonna fight?
Oh, now that's what I'm talking about. Solid strike from a solid fight. A solid hit! That's the shit we like to see. Am I right, people? Or what? And that's a hit! One for the record books. I want to hear that energy, folks. I want to hear the love and the hate. Get hype. The fighters step into the limelight. Take a look at those faces.
This'll be a lot.
Place your bets and strap the fuck in. Oh, they're gonna feel that hit in the morning if they wake up. Oh shit! Could that be the win right now?
I'll beat you to a pulp.
Oh my god! What absolutely disgusting! Looks like they're sizing each other up.
Don't wet yourself.
Oh shit! What absolutely disgusting blow! Place your bets, fight lovers. Here they come. Purveyors of violence and mayhem. They're poised, they're ready, they're wild and unsteady. Get on your feet and let them hear it. Almost knocked their teeth right out. Did you all see that monster hit on the stream? Fucking hell. They're getting murdered in there. But fucking wild blow, oh my god! Oh shit! see some excitement, folks? This fighter doesn't let anything or anyone get in his way. He'll run you over. Buckle in for some fisticuffs. Put up a good fight. I really do. Open up lights. Unbelievable blow. Don't know how anyone will come back from that. Stepping over here. Just like a proper live highlight reel. If they wake up. And the crowd's roaring for some action. And that's a hit! One for the record books. Now that's what I'm talking about. Solid strike from a solid fighter. Absolutely disgusting it. Almost knocked their teeth right out. Both of our fighters are tired, trying to conserve energy. Did you all see that monster here on the screen? Fucking hell. You was it to my ears. A solid hit! That's the shit we like to see. Am I right, people, or what? Oh, shit! Could that be the win right now? No, that wasn't your stream bugging out. Our reigning champ really was defeated. Meet the new me.
Auto drive now enabled.
Just about there. Right, let's find her what's-its then.
You're going to fight, right? Take on our champions?
Whoa, what?
Come on, it'll be fun. Like, listen, I won't lie to you. They will totally kill you. They're this unbelievably strong tag team.
Fucking hell.
Everyone's always saying the only thing they like more than vodka is kicking ass. Hey, who knows? Maybe you could take them. It'd be worth a shot, right? Plus, I really want to watch them fight you.
Looking for some action?
Oh, I can taste the tension in here. Our fighters are ready, are you? Well, you better be. Bets are closed and we're ready to roll.
Come at me then.
Oh my God! What absolutely disgusting! Oh shit! Could that be the win right now? Oh shit! And that's a solid blow there. I want to hear that energy, folks. I want to hear the love and the hate. Get hype. The fighters step into the limelight. Take a look at
You're
those
meant to
faces.
challenge
Place
me.
your bets and strap the fuck in. And that's a hit. One for the record, folks. An unbelievable blow. Don't know how anyone can come back from that. A solid hit. That's the shit we like to see. All right, people. you've got. Now that's entertainment, and one massive blow to our fighter. Almost knocked their teeth right out. Are you watching at home, online, on the street? Are you here live to feel the heat, the sweat, the blood? Wherever you are, this is the most exciting thing you'll see all day. Whoa, that hit looked like it fucking hurt. They're getting murdered in there. Fucking wild blow, oh my God. Did you all see that monster hit on the stream? Fucking hell. They're as cold as the land of their birth. But can they still bring the heat? Two violence-making machines from the Russian steppe. You don't want to miss this fight. Chat your friends.
Let's make this interesting.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Solid strike from a solid fight.
Great deal, Mud. Not that it will help.
Oh, they're gonna feel that hit in the morning. If they
No
wake
one
up.
will cry over your grave.
Just like a proper live highlight reel.
Time to introduce my fist to your fucking face.
Now that's entertainment. What a massive blow to our fighter.
I hit you so hard you think I'm your father.
Just like a proper live highlight reel. Well, that's what happens when you're
My
shit.
fist in your fucking face.
Oh, shit, and that's a solid blow there. Almost knocked their teeth right out. Did you all see that monster hit on the stream? Fucking hell. Oh shit! Could that be the win right now? They're getting murdered in there. And that's one for the record books. Absolutely nobody saw that win coming. Unless you did, then you've just made yourself a proper lovely bit of dosh.